podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-hosts, JJ Flawless and Zach the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I'm your host, Edgar De Jesus, and yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zach, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today, we're talking about the Pool Nation Boot Camp over at the PSP Expo. We will also talk about the Pool Nation Awards and all the winners. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blu-ray Excel, Aquastar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypack, and Heritage Pool Supply. We want to thank them for their continued support. Mr. Zacharias, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning. Trying to wake up or recover from that trip still. It's been back for 2 days now, but I'm feeling better. I think it's good it's Friday because I'll have the whole weekend to kind of just lay around and recover. But I'm super excited. It was nice to get back, and everyone here held it down really well. So I have to give a big shout out to the team here because everything went smoothly and everyone busted their butts and maintained. So it was awesome to come back and not have anything to have to deal with or anything like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. So big shout out here to our boy Benny, which is still in Vegas. He stayed for the Formula One. He's on there. Good morning, Benny. Mr. Michael Kraus, good morning. Big shout out to you out there for jumping on. John is out today. Believe it or not, we kind of scheduled the podcast a little bit later because he was coming back, and then he got back and his internet was down. So he was like, holy crap, Mr. Wax, what's going on, brother? Big shout out to you out there. Appreciate you being out there at the awards and kind of passing on the torch to the newest sales rep of the year. So big shout out to them, Zach, because they have showed up. Their entire team has showed up to support the Pool Pros all 3 years. So Corey and Alpha West, a big, huge shout out. I want you guys to know that we do notice and that you're out there supporting all the Pool Pros. So big shout out. Mr. Jason, what's going on, brother? Pool Envy out there. We missed you out in Vegas. And our boy Todd Pierre's on. What's going on? Let's go, Mr. Todd. We'll talk about Todd, which, by the way, I have to say, Todd is normally the GQ guy, right? But this year he had some competition, and I think they actually beat him, Zach.
Do you want me to take a guess?
Who are you going to say that beat Todd?
I'm going to have to say Brad really brought his A game. No?
Nope, it wasn't him. So Todd had, what is it, the velvet tuxedo, right? And he was GQing it, but our boy Chris Melee had the velvet, and then not only that, he stepped it up and he had the velvet shoes. Did you notice that?
No, I missed
that. He completely stepped it up. I think Chris might be the GQ guy for this year. Todd, did you have velvet shoes? Maybe if Todd had the velvet shoes, I think we might kind of be on a tie here. Jeanette, good morning. We do have to give a huge shout out to Jeanette, man. She's become, Jeanette, you're part of the Pool Nation family. So, Todd is saying yes. So Todd, you did have the velvet shoes? Let's see. So anyways, so coming back to Jeanette, big, huge thank you out there for everything that you do for us. You're basically part of the family. You are, right? So Janie wins for the dress. Yeah, Janie kind of took it all the way home. She kind of killed it with that dress, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot of inspiration from you, Zach. Yeah, definitely.
I told you I'm recovering. I'm in recovery mode right now.
So I'm sure you've seen the pictures of Janie's dress. It was completely epic. No, so Mike, good morning, Mike. It was great to see you out in Vegas and connect with you out there. And Todd Pierre is saying, no. I was saying yes to Chris. He looked amazing. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have to get Chris to come in his tuxedo back to Texas, and we'll have to get him some pictures of him pointing, right? And name him GQ best dress at the Pool Nation Awards, and kind of Janie for best dress for the women. So anyways.
And we're stepping it up next year, right?
Yeah, here's what's interesting. I don't know. So I wore the black tux, and then when we went to the after party, I changed and I put the Hall of Fame jacket on because we obviously talked to some of the people to be inducted for the class of 2024. And then I was looking at the pictures and I'm like, kind of like my tux with the tan look over at the top more than I did the classic look. So we're totally going to have to change that up for next year.
Yeah, for sure.
So the question is, do we all three wear different things or do we have to match?
I think we have to match.
We have to match. Okay. So anyway,
but I like symmetrical things. So,
So best dress award next year. Let's get a little friendly competition going. Yeah, absolutely. And I do have to say, Michael was dressed to the T, sharp to the T again, right? And he had his hair and the glasses, and he was styling it out there. So, but did you notice the number of people that were in tuxedos versus last year?
I did, yeah.
That was a huge difference. It was a huge, like the
difference.
Vast majority of people were decked out. Zach, you're just a ball of joy this morning. Yep. I did notice. Yep. You might want to talk, my friend.
No, I know everyone was dressed up, and that's what each year it's exciting. I'm excited for next year to see how we take it to the next level and how everyone, and that's what's awesome is it's all about everyone's participation. And it was so cool to see that everyone, went all out, put in an extra effort, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, especially when you're visiting the expo and you're doing the training, and then to, plan to have the dress and the tux and get ready and do all that. So it was really cool to see everyone put in, and we'll see what happens next year. I need some velvet shoes for next year, I guess.
Well, here's the problem is Todd over here is going, blue cowboy boots need to come into play, Edgar. They're suede blue cowboy boots. So we'll have to figure that one out, how we tie that one in, right?
We are in Texas next year.
Hey, we are in Texas, baby. Maybe we kind of go with, hats and, Western tuxedos.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. So David Jones is on here. Good morning, David. He is saying that he's still tired. I think that's all of us. We're kind of all going through that struggle this morning. I didn't get in until last night, and I think I landed close to 7. Leanne picked me up. We had dinner, and I didn't get home till like 9. And then this morning, I've had like 4 cups of coffee this morning, and I'm still, out of it. So,
well, anyways. For me, like I don't know, we had the after parties. I don't know how many years it's been since I've been up that late. And then the next night I flew out and my plane was delayed. And I didn't get home until 2 a.m. And so that was 2 nights in a row that I've been up later than I've ever been in I don't know how many years. So it's definitely taken its toll on me.
Yeah. Benny's saying we need to wear trophy buckles for next year since it's in Texas. That's not a bad idea. Like a second award thing, right?
Now, Benny, I questioned, did Benny even sleep while we were there?
I do have to tell you. So Benny is one that looks like he doesn't sleep, but the last day, right? The last day. So everybody left and it was just me and Benny left and took the tuxedos back and did all that kind of stuff and did all that. And at about 10 o'clock, he was like, okay, I'm out. And man, he went and he slept like 10 or 11 hours. Like he was like completely out, it finally caught up with him. But I do have to say he could go like he went from the Friday that we got there to the last day where I think he was sleeping like 2 or 3 hours a day max. I don't know. I don't know how he's doing it. So, hey, big shout out to Adam out here. Adam's getting old, guys. We're kind of getting old. So, he says, I'm on my last 3 bottles of Red Bull, So Benny went to the grocery store and the only thing that he bought was Red Bulls. So
that's all you need when you're that young, just Red Bulls and power through.
So anyway, so today we want to actually, you know what, Zach? I was just about to kind of go into our housekeeping notes, but guess what?
What?
We don't have any.
Yeah, I know. Strange.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like you jump, you kind of go through the podcast and it's like, man, we don't have any housekeeping notes. So I guess the next housekeeping notes is that our next boot camp will be in March 1st and 2nd out at Heritage Pool Supply in Texas. So
quick.
So yeah, so we'll talk about that as we get soon. So we'll be able to do that. But anyways, wanted to talk really quick about the boot camp. What did you think about the boot camp?
The boot camp was awesome, and it was so exciting to see the turnout that we had and all of the rooms and just seeing how engaged everyone was in it. And to be honest, when we were on the floor, I was getting a lot of people that were coming by and asking me like, hey, what was that? We were walking through the hallway and kind of peeking in the classes. How do we get involved? So there were a lot of people. I think next year we'll have a lot more interest than we had this year. People were kind of peeking in and seeing everyone down doing stuff, and talked to a lot of people that were really wanting to get their team involved with that. So that was exciting.
Yeah, I was excited. I, took a look at that at the RAPAC class, and at first I walked in the classroom and he kind of had some PowerPoint and he was kind of going through, this is a gas valve, this is this is that. And then all of a sudden I go in and they literally gutted those heaters. Like they had the blowers out of the heaters, completely gutted. There was nothing on top of the heater. And I'm like, and you should have seen just everybody's faces. Like they were just all in heaven, just tearing all that stuff apart.
I need to go through the boot camp again. It's been a while. I'm getting a little rusty. So
I was joking around. I go, you put me back in there and I'll end up with a couple extra pieces, hiding them in my pocket going, oops, forgot to put those back in there. So, but that was awesome. And that was one of the classes that everybody talked about this year, was that class right there. And everybody just, loves the hands-on. I mean, just to be able to kind of get in there and all of them. I mean, Aquastar room, I mean, they have these carts and they've got it all figured out, right? Like everything's self-contained. They can kind of get in there and do all that. And then Hayward with the automations, they went and they changed the setup. They kind of changed the settings a little bit, kind of hitting the high voltage, low voltage programming. Felt like people were spending a little bit more time on each one of them because they were able to put and create a separate salt cell class and programming for that, so that there was, more time and a little bit more one-on-one time. But yeah, I mean, we literally were supposed to have like 80 people and we went up, like people kept messaging and they're like, we already bought tickets and we're already coming out just for the boot camp. And can you take me? And I kept, so we were up to like, I think it was like 96 people. And then we did have, I think like 6 or 7 people that didn't show up. And then you had a lot of the people that were at the show and that were walking by. I mean, we had, I think it was Nola Guru from, I think they're Utah, I believe. And they came by and they hadn't registered. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's get in there. And then there was a couple other people that follow us all the time. And they're like, hey, it was sold out, but we still came. We wanted to hang out with you guys. And we're like, let's do it. And so we kind of got them into.
I think I had a couple people that were like, what is this? And they were looking and I was like, you want to go in? And they're like, yeah. And I just sent them in. So
I had a dad and son that were out from out here in Canton, Texas. And his dad, I think, is moving to Arkansas. His dad does pools. He's moving to Arkansas. And I started talking to them. I thought they were part of the boot camp and we're just having this big, huge conversation and all that. And then I look down and I don't see the badges. And I'm like, oh, do you guys have badges? And he's like, oh, no, we weren't able to register. We weren't able to make it in. And I'm like, you guys want to get in? And they looked at me like all excited. And I'm like, come on, get in there. What classes do you want to take? And they just jumped in, and they jumped into the Aquastar class, and they jumped in. So Adam is saying, I was pumped how helpful folks were to other folks, new people, great representation of women in the industry. So Adam, I have to come back. So one of the comments that I was making is how many women there were there taking the classes, right? And there was a lot of women taking the hands-on classes. They were excited about it, but I agree with you 100% of how much more representation there were from the women's side taking the boot camp was exciting. And I think the other thing about the boot camps, Adam, that excites me so much is exactly that, is you get all these people that come in to, and it could be anything from changing the pump seals to wiring, but you'll have a new guy that's in there and maybe they're struggling a little bit, but you have the other pool pros that do have some of the experience, and they'll jump in and they'll be like, hey, there's a couple of ways to do that. Let me show you how I do it. And there's almost like that protection thing, right? Like they kind of come in and step in to help protect that new pool guy and teach him how to do it, and kind of, really help each other out. And that gets me excited about the boot camps. You don't have that, oh, I already know how to do this, so I'm going to come over and stand in this corner board until we move on to the next thing. No, they're very engaging, and they're in there, helping. And we do have to give a huge shout out to all the people that helped the boot camps, because you had Daniel Bodden that jumped in and helped. You had Johnny that came in and helped. You had Jeanette. You had Kelly and Bobby that came in and helped. Who else did we have? We had just so many people just jump in to help everybody out. And that's kind of what excites me about the boot camps. It's really this helping.
Well, just even with like badges and stuff, if you I'd get caught up trying to help someone, and then one of them would jump in and help the next person without, everyone's just so willing to jump in, help out, make it run smoothly. So it's really cool. And that's what we always talk about, like creating that community, building that, nation of pool pros. And that's what's exciting to me.
Yeah. Michael Krause is saying the boot camp was the talk of the expo on day one. Overheard quite a few positive conversations on the show floor. So that's awesome. That's really exciting. So, and then day two, I'll be honest with you, it's Vegas. So I thought day two, we were going to have some people that were going to show up for the classes, but then I figured some people are going to go out, they're going to stay out late, they're not going to show up. And even though they asked us to move up the boot camp by like 30 minutes, we had 100 chairs in the room, and we had to go next door and get another 10 chairs to set into the training room.
Yeah. I was tired that day too. I mean, everyone's troopers for being there. 8:30 is kind of a rough start in Vegas.
Yeah, it is. It's a very rough start at 8:30 in the morning. So, but man, everybody showed up. Everybody was there. Everybody was taking the classes, and then we did the giveaways. Everybody went down to the boot camp. So big thanks to Hayward and Aquastar for all the giveaways, and the Ultimate Pool Tools for giving away some of the polls out there. So Mr. Jared Schwab, LinkedIn Live, love it. Pool Nation time. And so Jared, I was telling Corey Wax, and I do want to acknowledge and thank you guys. When we talk about the Pool Nation Awards, it's not just about, going there, whether you're going to get a prize or you're nominated or you're not nominated. It's about supporting the pool pros. And what I love about Alpha West is every single year they've had the entire team show up to support the pool pros. Because, one of the biggest challenges and one of the biggest things that we hear is, we nominated this company and nobody showed up in support, right? Like nobody was there, or they did win, but they only had one person there kind of going and getting the awards and stuff like that. The pool pros notice, right? Because if you're a big, huge fan of a company and you're nominating them and then there's no representation, you're kind of like, hey, what's going on? So, and for us, we don't care. You could be a sponsor. You don't have to be a sponsor, whatever it is, right? But if one of your employees is nominated, if one of your products is nominated, right, it's about getting out there to support the pool pros. And Alpha West has been there since year one. and their entire team has been there to support the pool pros. And so Jared and the entire team at Alpha West, thank you for that. We appreciate that. So, and then Corey killed it, right, with his speech.
Corey.
Corey's gold, man.
Corey is gold. He threw me for a loop on that one because he was a little nervous beforehand, and we were joking about it. We kind of share some of those nerves, I guess. And then he went up there and just knocked it out of the park, and it was very impressive. It was very passionate. It was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of people afterwards that were like, "Oh my God, that speech by Corey, that was like legit. That was awesome." And so I'm like, but you know, I love, and I think it's what our industry needs. It needs that energy from like Corey, right? I think there's key people that you meet with, and they just have that energy that they kind of fire you up and they kind of keep you going. So, and
It's
Corey's one of those guys.
contagious. It's absolutely contagious, and that's what I love to see. And I think a lot of people are letting their guard down, or maybe people that have that passion but don't have that group. They're starting to make their way to us and become part of that again community. But yeah, Corey just bleeds the pool industry, and I absolutely love it.
Absolutely. And then Michael Kraus is going, Corey killed it with that speech. You did, Corey. You absolutely just nailed it. 100%. So we were excited about the boot camp. I think it went well. I think like everything, right? We look at it and we're like, oh, there's things that we need to kind of change and that we need to, and we're working on it, right? We're working on kind of making some additions to the boot camp classes and kind of keep developing them for the pool pros out there. So, and then from there, we just kind of rolled into the Pool Nation Awards, which I am excited how they ended up being. So we ended up with about 320 people. But what I liked about it, Zach, is that everybody was in the room to kind of celebrate each other, right? There was not that competition. There was not that us versus them. It was everybody was in the room together to celebrate the pool pros.
Yeah, and you could see it. That's what I love. I love, like, before I'm kind of looking around and everyone is just mingling with each other. There's people that I'm like, I wonder if they even knew each other before this. And I knew people that came to the awards last year that didn't make it this year, that when we were there last year, they were having conversations with other people from other areas of the country sitting at the same table. And it was just really cool. And I know we'll get into the after party, but I saw a lot of that there as well. And that was really cool.
Yeah, no, it was great to kind of see everybody come together and a lot of amazing speeches. And I don't know if you noticed, I mean, at the end of it, it was almost like, wow, that was like really emotional, right? Like we've had some other ones where it's a lot of comedy and a lot of fun, but there was definitely a lot of emotion on that night.
Very heartfelt. And it was, being up there with everyone and being really tuned in to what they're saying and up close, like you could really see the emotion coming out of one, which is awesome because this is a serious thing. Recognition of people, great people in our industry is important and it should be taken seriously. And I love seeing that.
Yeah, it was awesome. So let's do this. Let's kind of go through some of the not through some of them. Let's kind of go through the winners of the awards, and then we can kind of talk about some of those on there. So we started the night going through, and so the first category that we did was the automation of the year, and the winner for that was Jandy with the Aqualink RS.
Yep. And then we had heat pump of the year, which went to Hayward.
Yes. And here Jared has said what was awesome was the individuals who were not confident last year when they got their award, they stepped up this year and they delivered. That growth is awesome to see. Absolutely. So, we had Chris Melee that last year, was kind of caught off guard, and he got his award, and he went up and he said, I last year I didn't have a big speech. I was kind of nervous to talk, and this year he had prepped, and man, he delivered a speech that was heartfelt. I'm not gonna lie to you, kind of choked up a little bit on that speech that he did. That was awesome. And And that's the other thing, Jared, that I love about the Pool Nation Awards, especially with the people that go up there that we ask for them to go up there and get on this on the podium and kind of present a category. Um, you're talking in front of 300 people, and a lot of people, it's a fear thing, right? Like to go up and talk in front of 300 people, that's not easy. And you have people like Jeanette now, that Jeanette's like, she didn't even think about it twice. We're like, Jeanette, award. She's like, got it, And at the beginning it was, but they kind of get out there and they get over that fear. They don't allow it to dominate them, and they jump out there and do it. And Chris did it. I know that we threw Jordan Noor out there this year, and he, crushed it. So it's awesome to see them kind of push themselves to get out of that comfort zone. Michelle from Shell's Pool and Spa, she delivered another great speech. Alisa Gotai for the 30 under 40. Remember, she just kind of she kind of had some notes and went, you know what? I just kind of want to talk from the heart, and she just rolled out from the heart, and it was kind of awesome to see her.
Spider.
Spider was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jared, I agree 100%. It's great to see, the growth and the confidence of those people getting up there. And it's not easy. It's not easy to get in front of 300 people and put yourself out there. So, and here's the other thing, the other beauty about it, Zach, is I do get a lot of other pool pros that come to me and talk to me. And they're like, hey, if there's anything that you need. And I'm like, you ready to jump in next year and do an award? And they're like, they look at each other and like, let's do it. Right. Like they see the other pool pros doing it. And they're like, so I do have already two new pool pros for next year that this year I told them I got categories for you.
That's awesome. I mean, if I can get up there and do it, then anyone can do it. And that's the truth right there. So
that's awesome. So the next one was the variable speed pump of the year, which was the Pentair IntelliFlow 3 for the variable speed pump of the year.
We had best value automation that went to Jandy for their, I believe, the IQ 904.
Yep, the IQ 904 bundle. We did have the innovative product of the year that went to Aquastar, the Pure Star Ozone. And that one's been taken off lately.
Oh yeah, you're starting to see all the posts and everything going on. Then we had the Zach Edgar and John Award, which went to Stan, and I absolutely love Stan. He is one of the most awesome people. We talked a lot at the booth and hung out, and he's just a very awesome, genuine person, so deserving of this recognition. Do you want to talk about what the purpose is on the Zach Edgar and John for people that maybe don't know what it's all about?
Yeah. So let me come back here just real quick, because Mike is going. Jandy won last year as well, didn't they? Yeah. So they won those 2 years in a row on the automation. And then Julio is out here. What's going on? Shout out, Julio, to you out there, my friend. Julio, are you all the way out from Brazil, right? Type on there and let us know. So yeah, the Zach, John, and Edgar Award it's kind of a combination. So Zach, John, and I, we're not allowed to vote or pick categories or do any of that. We kind of always have left it to the pool pros, and everything, the categories, the voting, all that's done by the pool pros. And what we wanted to do is be able to have an award that we can give out to people that have a big impact on the industry. Maybe somebody specifically like Stan. You look at Stan, and Stan is a guy that is, he handles all the education for the Western Pool and Spa Show. And he's one of those guys that he's like, hey, just leave me in behind the scenes and just let me do all of everything that I do. I don't want to be up front, but it's really for people that make a huge impact on the industry that maybe aren't in the front and don't get noticed as much by everybody else. And, we met Stan about 3 years ago, and he manages the entire education side for the Western. It's a volunteer job that he's been doing for years. Not the employees, all the people there are all volunteers, and he manages all the people, and he treats them with all the love that he can treat them. And so he's just an absolute amazing guy. And so when we started talking about, hey, who are we going to give the award this year to, it was just, we automatically looked at each other and we're like, yep, Stan's the guy. So it was great to see him come out and get the award.
Absolutely. The next category was residential filter of the year, and that went to Aquastar for the pipeline filter.
Yep. And that was 2 years in a row for that one. That I don't think that one was a shocker, right?
No. And I mean, just seeing all the social, I guess, the viralness of it that went on all summer long, it was, I was kind of expecting that one, I think.
Yeah. So the other one was the heater of the year, which was Raypak Avia. So big congratulations out there to Raypak. And I think they've done a great job with that heater and the technology. And, when you talk about people taking their products and continuing to elevate the products, they've done a phenomenal job when they came out with that Avia and the smaller footprint. So, so it's absolutely awesome.
Then we had cleaner of the year suction side that went to Hayward's, the pool cleaner.
Yep. And then the next one was the salt system of the year, which was the AquaRite S3.
And that was a cool one. They talked kind of about how, they had went back to the drawing board, I believe is what he was talking about. And they had Gold Line for so long and then came out with the S3 with kind of rethinking it a little bit. And so it was kind of cool to see them take the win home on that one. Then we had the Lifetime Achievement Award that went to Rick English. And again, Rick was awesome. We hung out at the booth, had a lot of great conversation, just a wealth of knowledge. I mean, how I get, and I start
down the rabbit hole.
Down the rabbit hole. We went down the rabbit hole. So,
yeah. So, and he's just got such a wealth of knowledge. And actually, I think it's about 5 or 6 hours of content that we're going to be putting out that he came out and he shot out here. And we're kind of waiting to update the app, which we did. And we'll talk about that maybe on a different podcast. But it was great to see him get that Lifetime Achievement Award. And, he kind of came and, I think one of the things is a lot of the people was like, oh, I don't deserve this. Right. And it's like, no, you do. Like, you've had an impact in the industry. You've helped so many people. You definitely do deserve these awards. So then this year we did something special, which was the Pool Nation Hall of Fame. And so we started this a little while back ago. And last year we did the first Pool Nation Hall of Fame. And I think a lot of people, Zach, didn't notice it. And we did the Pool Nation Hall of Fame. The first inductee was Bob Lowry into the Pool Nation Hall of Fame. And so this was the first year that we were kind of inducting people that were going to be there. Unfortunately, Bob had passed away. So we had his wife and she got his jacket. And so it was kind of neat. I'll have to tell you, I was actually pretty shocked. Terry asked me to do his induction into the Hall of Fame. So that was very touching for me to be asked to present Terry. So it was special for me. So it was special because we had done Bob Lowry, and then just to have the honor to be able to do the very first one was kind of very cool. So obviously Terry Arco, a guy that's been in the industry for 40 years. I mean, this guy has, worked on the service, on the repair side. He's been an educator. He's helped with products. And so it was kind of neat to be able to induct him into the Pool Nation Hall of Fame. But really, the Pool Nation Hall of Fame is for those people that have spent over 20 years in the industry and have a positive impact, right? Because of a lot of what we look for when we're doing awards and stuff like that are those people that are the positive impact of the industry, are those that are trying to elevate the industry. And so it couldn't have gone to anybody, I think, better than Mr. Terry Arco.
Absolutely. And you meet Terry, you meet Steve, and they're very humble. And just by having conversations, you would never, there's no ego, but they have both accomplished a ton of things within our industry that have boosted our industry and contributed in positive ways. And I think, listening to Steve's message, it was super important. And I was picking up like he was talking about, he's been an employee, but he has made these positive changes and how it's okay to be an employee and still strive for great things and put your best effort out there and accomplish these things. And I think that was a super important message for our industry. Um, you can join a team and use your power to contribute to the greater good of the team and the industry. And I think I was queuing in on that and listening hard. So that was awesome to hear.
Yeah. And it was great to see, Steve, another guy that's been in the industry for such a long time and make such a big impact in the industry. So big congratulations to both of them. They deserve it. Our big thing is, we want to celebrate people while they're still in the industry, right? Like we don't want that to be that people get recognized, once they're gone or they've passed away, right? We want them to be able to be recognized for making such a big impact. So, and I do have to tell you, those jackets look pretty good, man. So for everybody listening, they got a Pool Nation Hall of Fame jacket with their patch. And it was neat watching them at the after party with their jackets.
I was thinking about that. It's cool. And as this goes on, I mean, that recognized group is going to continue to grow. And it's going to be awesome to see in 5-10 years what that group looks like and all get together. Be a lot of fun.
Right. You got, you got, all these people, you'll have 10, 15, 20 down the road, however it is. And they're all in the room, all with their own, special jackets. And so that everybody can kind of recognize it. That was very cool. So, hey, big shout out to Todd's Pool Service. He's on here. Justin with Ray Pack. Congratulations on the win, guys. Mr. Howard Pringle, he said, hi, Edgar. So see, you're on the bottom of the totem pole, Zach.
Maybe in like a year, I'll get the high.
Maybe. So the only reason I'm getting it is because John's not here, so I get the high Edgar. So big shout out to you, Howard, out there. And then Mike is saying his message to employees was absolutely awesome. Yeah, they delivered. They definitely delivered some.
Even my mom the next day was like, what Steve was saying, I was like, yeah, that was gold right there.
Even my wife too was talking about it. I thought the other part that was awesome was when Rick English came up and his wife came up and the wife gave the award to him and, he gave her a kiss and it was, now the one thing that you noticed, did you notice how most of the guys, the first thing was thanking their wives, right? For their support and all that. So that was very, very cool. So the next one was the best truck wrap, which went to Cali Pool Techs out there. So big congratulations to them on the win for pool wrap of the year. It's actually a really cool wrap that they got going on that one.
It's a fun category too. So many people get really involved with that one, and it's cool seeing all of the different ideas and creations across the industry that people come up with. And there were a lot of submissions into that one, so that was really cool.
Every year that one is everybody's, and it's all the pool guys having fun, like bragging and doing that and posting all over social media and stuff like that. So that was a big category. So so excited for them. Congratulations, guys.
And then we had Builder of the Year, which went to Jay Caldwell Custom Pools.
Yes. And Jay Caldwell is actually, I think they're out of Fort Worth, Texas. And it was kind of neat. And it was funny because so they went out to the awards and, they had gotten some tickets and bought tickets and sent me a message and said, hey, let's make sure that you got our names for the awards and stuff like that. And it was exciting to see them, win that award. They were kind of like, oh, it'd be great to be able to take the trophy home and blah, blah, blah. And then and I'm just like, yeah, it kind of would be fun, right? I'm like not spilling any of the tea to anybody. And then a lot of people always come back to me later and they're like, how come you didn't drop any hints? How come you didn't tell? I'm like, nope. I even asked Zach, do you want to know? And Zach's like, nope, not interested in knowing, so that I have that shock factor.
Yeah, I have no clue. And even when John hands me the trophy, I'm like, at that moment, I could catch a glimpse, but I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna. I love, and the winner is, and then being surprised right then and there.
And what I love to do is, so, you guys were on stage, you're doing your thing, and I'm kind of working with audio visual in the corner and stuff like that, and kind of just making sure the video and everything's going good. And I love to just be able to kind of watch people from a distance, because you'll sit there and they'll be shocked when they're announced, and their reactions is priceless. So the next one was the distributor of the year, which went to Heritage. And they have won that one 2 years in a row. And I think that was kind of, no surprise there. I mean, they've done such a great job with their customers and the program that they put out. And, that company is, all about their employees, and it just kind of, just spews, customer service and loyalty. And so big, huge shout out to everybody there. And then the other neat thing is everybody was there from Heritage. I mean, they had the president of Heritage there. They had the VP of marketing out there. They had the entire team out there. So again, it comes back to, they could have sent just a couple of reps out, right? But that just tells you, Zach, it just tells you the support that they're giving out there, that everybody showed up. I mean, there was like 12 or 14 of them up on stage.
Yeah, it was crazy. And to be honest, me and John were about to have to get off.
The picture.
We kept scooting and scooting and scooting and scooting, and we were all the way at the very edge of the stage. The next step would have been to just step down, but it was cool to see them all get up and, listening to Matt's opening remarks in the beginning. I mean, he just speaks very well, and you can get it from them. There's no ego. It's very humble. It's about the pool pros. And even the couple times that I've been to the facility and interacted, everyone just treats you with ultimate respect and courtesy. And it's really cool to see.
And I'll tell you how much of an impact it has. And so I'm going to share something that happened here. It might take a little bit of heat for this one, Zach, but I'm going to share it anyways. So when you're dealing with the convention centers, right, you deal with a lot of union things that you kind of have to manage. And so, there was some things that were a big challenge for me to kind of be able to get going, right? And you know how I am. I have a good vision of what I want, and I prepare for it a long time in advance. And I have 3, 4, 5 conversations just to kind of make sure that everything goes well. And so I'll give you a perfect example. I had a challenge last year with the lighting, and I wasn't happy because the room was way too lit, and I kind of wanted more of the ambiance of what we had this year. And so I was kind of trying to get that resolved, and man, there's so many different departments, right? So first you have to call this department, and then you have to call that department. And so then I was kind of dealing with somebody, and they just kind of weren't being friendly, right? They didn't make me feel confident that my issue was going to be resolved. And I'm trying to, Edgar, be cool, be collective. Like, that's going to get you further than, being rude and stuff like that. And as I'm going through that situation, Zach, I thought to myself, man, if these people were like the employees at Heritage, I wouldn't have this problem. And the reason I'm saying that is because we've done events at the Heritage headquarters, man, and everybody's so willing to help. And when I've come up to a couple of things, like, people grab the ball and they run to solve your issue all the way to the end, right? And so it was funny because as I was literally going through that situation, I'm like, man, I wish I was at Heritage right now, where I could just kind of be like, hey, I have this problem, and I know with confidence that it's going to get resolved. So it's a big, huge shout out to Heritage, because that's how much of an impact it has that I was in that situation, and that's where my mind was going. I needed them to help me.
And Edgar has a lot of requests and things that he has that vision, and we're going to stick to that vision, but for good reason though.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a big, huge shout out to Heritage. Congratulations on your win. Very well deserved. I'm excited that they got that.
The next one is Trainer of the Year, which went to Alicia Stevens with Biolab, and so awesome. And I was, Alicia had posted about it this morning, and I was thinking about it, and she's so deserving of that. And I can see it firsthand because went to the Southwest show. I took the team, and a lot of the team had never heard of her. They've taken one class from her, but to this day, when I talk about Alicia, they all know who she is. They all light up, and she made an impression and an impact on them in one class that's going to stick with them for the rest of time. And that's just the kind of person she is, and she is absolutely awesome. And I was excited for her.
And very well deserving. And so here's how much of an impact. So I don't know if you noticed, Zach, but at the awards, there was 2 people that won, and the room just I'm not talking like there was people that won, and there's the groups of people, and they're cheering and they're excited because they're all there to what I'm talking about, to support the other people, right? So you had employees, you had friends, and they're out there and they win and they cheer, and that's what you want to see. But there was 2 people at this event this year that won, and the entire room. And I'm telling you, it didn't matter what company was in there. They were all cheering for this person. And Alicia was one of those. She won, and the entire room cheered, and started screaming in the room. And she's very deserving of it. The other thing, I don't know if you caught it. Did you catch when people were going, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it?
No, I heard it, but I didn't quite pick up on it. And then someone was telling me about it, that in the her class, that they were talking about it, and they were all chanting, kill it, kill it.
Yeah. So in the class, she was, they're talking about algae, and it's like, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And so she wins. And then there's a whole bunch of people in the crowd that are going, kill it, kill it, kill it, but that just tells you the impact that these people are having on the industry. And so very well deserved, absolute just excitement that she was the one that took that award there. There was a lot of absolutely amazing people. It's kind of, if we had to pick, that would have been very hard. We would have been giving out 2 or 3 trophies, but so let's see. Cheryl Krause, it was so fun watching the live stream. Everybody looked amazing. You guys did an amazing job putting it all together. Hoping that Todd's Pool Service can make it next year. Congratulations as well to all the nominees and winners. So Cheryl, I am going to put the heat on Todd for next year for him to be there. Absolutely.
Yes.
So you just gave me the green light, Cheryl. So Todd, prepare, my friend. So anyways, the next one was the Sales Rep of the Year, which went to Abel De La Herrera from Pool Corp SCP. And this is the one that we're talking about. That was the second one that everybody just exploded in cheers out there and started cheering for Abel. And just, I was really excited when I saw that he had won, that award, because he's such a great guy. He's in the industry. And this is one where I tell you that when you look at the Pool Nation Awards, it's kind of what we want to do. We want everybody to celebrate everybody. We don't want to be, competitors, right? And so he has a mentor that went to go work for Heritage, right? And in his acceptance speech, he thanked him for being a mentor for him and giving him the opportunity. And I really soaked in that moment, Zach, at the awards. Like I was standing over by the AV, and I soaked in that moment. And I think if you asked me, Edgar, what was the one moment of the awards? It was that moment that it doesn't matter that you're competitors. We're a small industry. We all have relationships with everybody, right? And just to have that energy to be able to acknowledge, that person, even though they're a competitor at this stage, right, was absolutely amazing. And his speech was like heartfelt.
Absolutely. It was a great speech, and I caught that as well. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. It's the if you listen to everyone who spoke, it's very genuine. It's very humble. There's no ego attached to it. And I think that's what resonates with people, and that just willingness to be better, to do better, to train better, or to help out, to elevate. I mean, that's the commonality in the entire room that night. And Abel knocked it out of the park, and it was very cool. And then like you said, thanking his mentor who's sitting at another table across the aisle, was really neat.
Yeah, and their embrace at the end, he came down and gave him they gave each other a big hug, and that's what it's about, right? It's we're an industry, and that night is to celebrate everybody. The next one was the 30 under 40 male, which was Dustin Anderson from Precision Aquatics down in San Diego. Big congratulations on the 30 under 40, and he brought his entire team. Joey was there, and his entire team was there. Everybody was kind of chanting for him, so it was exciting to see him win that one.
And then we had the 30 under 40 female, which went to Danielle Barr with the SPPA, and we've been hanging with Danielle for a long time, so that was really cool, and to see her take that home that night.
Yeah, and Danielle helps so many pool pros out there, and she has got such a great relationship with so many people, so it was fun to see her take that one home. The other one that was awesome was the retailer of the year. So the retailer of the year was new. And so it was Academy Pool and Spa. And man, what a crowd, right? So they're always all four together. They're so, exciting. They're so positive. They're so full of energy. And so I was watching, they posted a video of somebody from their table when they won. They kind of stepped behind them in case they won. And, you see when all of a sudden they say, Academy Pools, and they all four of them get up and they're like cheering and excited and, all that. And then they're kind of all over social media and posting, and even PEP sent them flowers and sent them
awesome.
Congratulations, on retailer of the year. And so I kind of reshared that on Instagram because it was so cool to see, again, the collaboration from everybody, kind of acknowledging everybody was pretty freaking awesome. So guys out at Academy Pools, we love you. Congratulations on the win. Exciting to see you guys have it. They have their trophy. They have it back. They've been posting. They showed pictures of them traveling with the trophy. It was awesome.
That is awesome. Next, we have Women Trailblazer of the Year, and that went to Casey McGovern with Every Child's a Swimmer.
So that was one that I loved to sit back and watch. So, hey, Scott Reynolds, great event. Big shout out to you, brother. It was great connecting with you out there in Vegas. Yeah, so if you look at the Women Trailblazer of the Year, that was one where I kind of was sitting down, and she happened to be kind of at the front row towards the front. So I just happened to be close by. So I'm sitting there, and I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm going to, watch her reaction. And she's sitting there, and all of a sudden it's Women Trailblazer of the Year. And they say Casey McGovern. And she just kind of went like she looked up like at the screen, like, did I hear my name being called? and she was like surprised. And she's like, she like froze on her chair for like a couple seconds. And then she looks at me like, did they say my name? And I'm going, you need to get up and kind of go on the stage. I mean, you need to go up. And she was just like, her face was just priceless because she was just in complete, shock that she had won it. But, Zach, talk about somebody. I mean, she lost her daughter to drowning, and that's as a parent, right? And I almost lost my daughter, and that put me on the brink of losing my mind. To actually lose your child to something that can be prevented, and her promise to her daughter that she would spend the rest of her life, fighting for her and trying to make sure that it doesn't happen to other people, and her getting out there and sharing her story. It's not easy when you have to share that story. Like you're reliving that moment. So it was great to see her get the Trailblazer Woman of the Year. And then it was great to see her reaction to winning the prize. So Casey, you deserve it. Congratulations to everybody that is on your team, that you guys work so hard to help educate So congratulations. The pool guy of the year was Aiden Dunn, all the way from San Diego. That was another one. And that's a perfect example of one, Zach, where they had a group of people that kind of came to support him, right? And
Oh
they
yeah.
didn't know if he was going to win or not, but there was a whole bunch of them. And so it was fun to see Aiden win it, and then the entire crowd that was hit with him, everybody stand up and cheer and yay and exciting and stuff like that. So so that was very cool. And the prizes that they won weren't bad at all either.
No, and we're going to talk about that in a second.
Oh
I
yeah.
think we need to talk about
Oh
that.
heck yeah.
And then our final category of the evening was Pool Girl of the Year, and that went to Abigail Crosby. And I thought that was super cool because we had the pleasure of speaking with Kristen and Abby not long before. And
Yeah.
I think she was a little shocked. And then at the end of the after party, Kristen's like, I don't think she knows that she won anything. And I was like, oh, I totally dropped the ball on that because I didn't say anything at the awards. So she was completely shocked at that, which was really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So the pool guy and the pool girl, I mean, they just got a whole bunch of stuff. So they got a pump, ozone, a filter from Aquastar. They got a couple of actuators, valves. Then they got the AquaRite S3 with automation on it. They got a Raypak Avia heater, right? They got an ultimate pole, and they got $500 worth of natural chemistry products. Did I forget anything?
I don't know.
So they basically got a full-blown automation plus $500 in natural chemistry plus the ultimate pole, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed the ultimate pole.
Yes.
It says 2023 pool guy, and the one says for the girl, pool girl, says 2023 pool girl. So that was really, really exciting to see them both win those.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So now we got to figure out when we're going to have them out, because we'll have to do a podcast, with them out here in Dallas. So
yeah.
Yep. So anyways, a big, huge congratulations to all of the winners at the Pool Nation Awards. You all deserve it. I am going to be honest with you. As soon as the awards were over, I started to talk about 2024, and Zach and John told me to shut the hell up, that I needed to finish enjoying this one before we started talking about 2024. But we already have some things that we want to do for next year, Zach. We already have some things where we want to step it up and and do even better. And a big, shout out to all the people that came out to support. And again, it's about supporting the people, but Pentair was there, which they hadn't been there before. Jandy was there. Hayward was there. Heritage was there, right? You had AquaCal that was there. You had, forgive me for all the ones that I forget, but what the point that I'm trying to make is that, you have the companies that are being, nominated. And what I want the companies to remember is these are your customers that are nominating you. They're nominating your products, right? And I could care less if you sponsor the awards. As a matter of fact, most of them don't, right? Most of them don't sponsor the awards. It's not about that. It's about getting out there and, remembering that you have people that are, nominating your products. You have pool pros that are out there cheering for you. So, get out there, be present, mingle with the pool pros. And then if you win those awards, celebrate with the pool pros. I mean, the after party was just, to me, the icing on the cake to a great awards event.
For sure. And I think big shout out to everyone that was there for the production of the awards, because there were a lot of people in that room that were there helping out, making sure that everything went smoothly, and the audio and the video and the lighting. I mean, there's, for every one of those elements, there is someone behind the scene managing and monitoring all that. And so big shout out to everyone involved with that, because it was a great turnout. was a great event, and like Edgar said, we've got some things in mind for next year already. And then the after party. I mean, when we got there, we were almost a little late to it, and we rallied over there. I mean, there was already a ton of people in the hallway. I got this cool video when they kind of opened it up so everyone could come in, and I was filming everyone walking in, and everyone was walking by, and they're like, throwing up their arms to the camera and, rock on and stuff like that. Everyone was super excited. And then just walking that room, it was so cool. Everyone was just kind of mingling and sitting down and having conversations. And again, like I said earlier, I walk around and I wonder if those people have ever met each other before, if they've ever had any prior engagement. It was a really awesome evening.
Yeah, the venue was just absolutely gorgeous, and the view and everybody, again, there was no competition at that moment in that room. It was everybody was celebrating everybody and having a great time. It was just, it was a great finish to a great evening. And like you were saying, a big shout out to the PSP Expo. I mean, everybody, Chris, Laura, Megan, you guys were just absolutely amazing, and you guys managed a lot of things for us. Like I didn't have to worry about the after party. They kind of took that on their own. They managed that entire situation. We were running late putting out badges, and you had the director of the show and the show manager helping us put out all the badges so that we could be ready for all of our like who does that? A director of the show and a show manager, and they're there in person putting out all the name badges in alphabetical order so people kind of come through and get them and stuff like that. Megan, that has been such a believer in us since day one. Big, huge, definite shout out to you guys. We love you guys. We love the partnership that we have with you guys. And then, the entire audio visual team. I mean, you got video guys, you got audio guys, you got light guys, you got, the girl that was managing all of our video production stuff in the background. And I meant to do a little video so everybody could kind of see how big of a production that is to kind of put together. So big shout out to them for stepping it up and being just as enthusiastic with us and as excited with us for the evening. They were the lady that was handling our food and beverage came to me at the end, and she was like, "Oh my God, such a great event! Congratulations! If there's anything that we could do, let us know." And I mean, everybody was just really kind of excited about it. So I do have to, thank all of the sponsors, every single one of you. We definitely couldn't do this without you. Hasa for the after party, but not just that. Every sponsor that sponsored the Pool Nation Awards that allow us to put on such a big production for everybody to be able to celebrate each other in the industry.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we are ready for 2024. So believe it or not, Zach, we've just been chatting. So we talked the whole hour and we never did even the sponsor ad. So here's what we're going to do, because the podcast is almost over. So let's do this only for purposes of, because obviously this is on YouTube and Facebook. So this part here is for our boy Kevin. So what we're going to do is, because the podcast is pretty much over, right, Zach?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm going to do is, so that Kevin doesn't get mad at me, and forgive me, Kevin, for not taking the word from our sponsors earlier. But for Kevin's purposes, what we'll do is we will put the word of the sponsors in here. So everybody, let's take a word from our sponsors. When we come back, Zach, we will kind of get your final thoughts. All right, here we go.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blu-ray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blu-ray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blu-ray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BluRayXL.com.
Blu-ray all day.
Aquastar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast. I am here with Mr. Zacharias, the famous pool boy. And we were talking about the boot camp. We were talking about the show in Las Vegas, which was a great show, very well attended. Talked to a lot of the exhibitors, and they were very happy with the attendance at the show. Boot camp was, a great event for us, a great event for the Pool Nation Awards and the after party. Next year, it's going to be in Dallas, so it'll be in our home turf. And we've got some things planned already, right, Zach? So Zach said that he wants to ride a live bull at the show, at the awards.
Oh, we'll see about that. But I did have to pump Edgar's brake. I was like, Monday we can start talking about all this, but
we're not allowed to talk about anything until Monday, right? Yeah. So Zach, let me get your final thoughts.
Yeah, I just want to kind of reiterate and give everyone a really big thank you, to all of the pool pros out there that tune in, that listen, that get involved. I mean, I talked to several people that I had never met before that, they listen or they follow, and that's what really gives us the fuel to keep doing what we're doing. And I want to give a big thank you to, Jeanette, Benny, everyone else that gets involved. Every year we have everyone just pitching in, helping, whether it's setting up tables, moving chairs, carrying boxes. I mean, Daniel, anyone else I forgot, I apologize, but we love you guys. And I mean, we would have had to make 30 trips to the truck, but everyone's like, cool, we got it, we'll help you. And it's just really cool. And the sponsors, I mean, they have, they see the vision and they believe in the mission and they get involved, and we couldn't do it without them. The show, like Edgar was talking about, everyone is just super helpful. It's not like they didn't have like a million other things to
Things. Yep.
handle and manage and going on, and they're there helping make sure that we're able to do what we want to do and get everything done and get it done smoothly. And it's exciting to see how far this has gone just in a short few years, to be honest. And people that share the same passion for community and the same passion for education and elevating the industry. And that's everything that we're about. And that's everything that we're striving to do. And each year it continues to grow, and we meet more people, engage with more people, and they get involved. And that is what it's all about.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's almost like I have to say ditto, right? Because you nailed it. But it's about the community. It's about bringing everybody together. Excited about it. Next year at the International Pool and Spa Show, we are going to do another boot camp, but that one's going to be a 3-day pre-con, and we're going to do everything. We're going to dive into business strategy. We're going to dive into business. We'll do our hands-on. We'll do the classes that we do. We also are going to be bringing a boot camp for the entire retail side. That's our big thing for next year for November, is that, we see ourselves as a huge family, right? And you got the builders, you got the retailers, you got the pool pros, you got the manufacturers, you have all that. And we're going to bring a boot camp over to the retail side in November. So we're excited about that. And then soon we'll be talking about our list of events that we're going to be doing starting for 2024. We've got a long list of boot camps and events that we're going to be doing. So we'll talk about those. We're going to be doing some in Texas. We're going to be doing some in California. We're going to be going to Oxnard for the RAPAC, to the RAPAC headquarters, which we're going to do something a little bit different, something a little bit more specialized, like a 201 boot camp, a lot more in depth into heaters and stuff like that. So we have some really cool stuff that's coming out, the big one in November. So, stay tuned. We'll talk about those soon. We'll kind of share all the different dates so everybody can tune in and kind of get registered for all those events. So Zach, the other thing that I wanted to do today is I wanted to take a minute to thank you and John. And John's not here. John was having some issues and his internet was down and he was all mad. But I think I wanted to take a moment to thank you guys. We've been on this wild journey for the last 3.5 years. And I think sometimes we don't stop and kind of thank each other, right? And it's not that we need to, right? But I just wanted to thank both of you for your friendship. We've become a family. I was really kind of thinking about that on the drive and on the flight, that we've become a family, right? Like we're like truly brothers. We care about our families. We're always talking to each other. We're always on holidays talking and doing all that kind of stuff. And this journey wouldn't be possible without you. I don't think that Pool Nation would be what it is if we didn't have all three of us together and all of us driving that same passion and the same vision, and to be able to be on the same page. And it's not about, oh, well, I get the limelight, or, oh, I have to do this. It's like, you can have an idea and we all share the idea. John has an idea. We share an idea as all of ours, not just, one more than the other. And, at the end of the day, it's about the pool pros, right? It's about them. It's about delivering for them. But I wanted to take a minute and stop and say thank you to you and your family. And thank you, John. I know that you're not here, and your family, for all the sacrifices that you guys, have done. So I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. And thank John, because you both have pushed me to beyond my limits in a good way. And I've grown as an individual, and you guys give me honestly, the courage to do that. And I mean, even talking about getting on stage and in front of people, you could tell I was freaked out. You gave me an out, but I knew that this is what I needed to do. This is what I wanted to do. And you guys supported me and gave me the confidence to be able to get up there and conquer that. And I'm super thankful for that. And
And you're ready for next year to do it again?
I'm ready for next year to do it again.
There you go. Dang. That was, and you know what? There was no hesitation in that answer whatsoever. You're like, I got this.
I got it.
I got it. So anyways, well, I appreciate it, brother. Everybody out there, Zach, you did a great job speaking at the awards event, by the way. See,
Thank you.
you just nailed it. So everybody out there that was nominated, all the winners, congratulations. All the people that showed up, thank you for showing up to the Pool Nation Awards. We will already start working. We've already started working on 2024. They just don't let me talk about it, but I can promise you that we're going to step up some things. So anyways, big shout out to everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. Catch me and John next Wednesday on the Instagram Live, where we will connect with everybody. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry, a pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.